And drum roll. There we go. Hello, everyone. Oh boy, we've got Gramps D. Lion already saying hello. Hi, Gramps. Hope everyone's having a great day so far. Yes, you do not need to adjust your sets. I am streaming during a weekday. In the United States, it is a federal holiday today, so many folks have the day off of work. And I decided to take this opportunity to do a little bit of streaming. Hello, Kay. I see you in the chat there as well. Hope you're doing well so far today. Also, a little bonus of me being able to stream during the daytime is that hopefully I can catch folks who are in different time zones in different places around the world who might not normally be able to make one of my streams. So I'm interested in seeing if we have a different spread of viewers in the chat here today. How's everyone's day going so far? Hello, Xenomnia. Hi. I'm doing pretty well. I'm pretty excited to get going on this here game. I've got a really great one that I am quite interested in checking out with everyone here today. Let's see. I haven't spoken to you folks since Halloween. As anyone who's familiar with me knows, Halloween is a big holiday, Shetani. It's pretty much my favorite holiday of the year. So I had a very good Halloween this year. I had some friends over. Everyone was vaccinated. It wasn't a big party or anything like that. It was literally just a couple friends of ours. And I decorated the place. I made my typical Halloween spread smorgasbord. I love to cook and bake, and so I made up a whole bunch of like Halloween themed food and treats and cupcakes, and it was so much fun. We had a nice time. We actually didn't even get around to watching any scary movies or anything because we just spent so much time chatting, which is always great to get the time to catch up with folks that you really haven't spoken to or seen in a very long while. We also ended up watching a live stream of Con Furor, which is a Mexican furry convention that was having a virtual event over Halloween weekend. There were actually 4 online furry conventions going on Halloween weekend. It was Con Furor, Furpocalypse, and 2 others whose names are escaping me at the moment, but yeah, obviously Halloween, really big time for furries. We love dressing up and everything like that. I hope everyone had a nice Halloween as well. No, it's not a holiday that everybody celebrates. In addition, I had an absolute blast going out in my fursuit to a Halloween costume party at a local goth club. This was my first time wearing my fursuit to a costume event like that, not related to the furry community. So I was a little bit trepidatious, but it went swimmingly. It was a big hit. The only problem was the music was so loud, I could barely hear what people were saying to me. So, I could tell that they were trying to talk to me or whatever, but I needed to have my partner run interference. But then I went out back outside of the club, and I was able to chat with folks much more easily there. And there were some photographers there, so hopefully I will have photos from that event to show everyone pretty soon. But yeah, I had a great time. And it looks like our friendly neighborhood Streamlab spot is up and running, which is fantastic, which means that we can get started on our game. Yes, it was so exciting. Thank you so much. So today what I'm going to be streaming is a sneak preview demo of a game that was sent to me by Clace. This is a furry visual novel called Komorebi. Now, I have played several visual novels in the past. However, I've never actually played a furry visual novel, nor have I played one of Clace's games. Now, Clace is a bit of a name in the furry gaming community. I know that they have made 2 previous games. One is called Major Minor, which you might be familiar with, and the other is, I believe, Wings of Change. Don't quote me on that one. Like I said, I am a newcomer to the games of Clace. However, this looks very interesting. So I'm going to be going ahead and starting that up momentarily. As a reminder for folks who may be new to the stream, you earn per points simply by watching as well as being active in the chat. Those can be redeemed to make me do all kinds of kooky, wild, weird things. You know, the typical streamer stuff. You can type !store at any time if you'd like to redeem your points. Also, I have a bunch of fun commands to interact with me as well as your fellow viewers in chat to make things a little bit more interesting. You can type !commands at any time if you would like to see all of the commands that you can do while watching the live stream. Also, if you feel like dropping me a cup of tea or two for my efforts, I do have a coffee donation link that is down there at the bottom of your screen, coffee.com/Shetani, as well as, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's running away from me. Never you mind. We are going to get started with the game, hopefully. Okay. And it looks like we are ready to go with Komorebi here. Alright, so Komorebi deals with mental health topics that some may find distressing. It's always good to have a disclaimer. I'm not sure if it has audio. Oh, it does, though it's quite faint. Let me go ahead and turn that up a bit, so hopefully you folks can hear it. Hello, Owlor.
Welcome to Komorebi.
If you need me to turn up the game audio, let me know, because it's a bit quiet.
You have chosen to take part in a personal experience.
Oh, I have I?
In exchange for that, we have given you several options to use.
Options are always good.
Feel free to do so at your leisure.
Thanks, disembodied voice.
Your experience will be divided into fragments like these.
Ah, yes. I've played Assassin's Creed. I'm well familiar.
Right now, there's only one. Try saving and then interact with this fragment.
Okay.
Alternatively, feel free to enjoy the view. Experience opening fragment. A new beginning.
Sure. I appreciate the voicing in this so far. Oh, I spoke too soon. Fear of the future must not define us. It is regrets of the past that make us who we are.
So give me all your poison,
Oh, we got a donation. Can I pause it? Yes, it pauses. Haha. Thank you, Xenomnia, for the donation. I appreciate it so much. Shout out to you, Xenomnia. You are the MVP so far. Yeah, and you make me so happy. That means when I'm done with my stream, I can go get myself a cup of tea. Hell yeah. I appreciate that so much. Thank you very, very much. I am so excited to see what we got going on here. Let's go, let's go, let's go. My eyes flutter as I linger on the precipice of a peaceful sleep. Cars pass by, then fade away, lulling me like mechanical waves on a suburban ocean. However, as enticing as slumber may seem, this is not the time or the place. I hope you're not trying to sleep in the middle of a freeway. That would be no good. As we drive, I keep myself awake with pleasant thoughts. Thoughts both old and new. Oh boy, yeah, definitely do not want to be falling asleep while you're driving there, buddy. Those vehicles that passed by, where were they going? And where did they come from? I dig deeper and start to wonder who those people were, who they loved and held dear. Billions of people, all with lives fundamentally different from mine. It's a lot to take in. But is that difference a good thing or a bad thing? I stop to think and can find no answer. As many people say, though, the unknown is alluring. That's part of why I'm sitting here right now. I feel a tap on my shoulder and let out a loud yawn. Giving my friend a slight smile, it isn't long before I receive one in return. At least we were both on the same page. There'd be plenty of time to sleep later on.
Hey, you all right over there?
Let me know if you need me to turn up the... I'm just going to go ahead and turn up the volume on the game a little bit. That should be good.
Ever since we left the airport, you've been dozing off like mad. I thought it was pretty good company, you know? You're offending me.
I shake my head, as if doing so would grant me further clarity. Oh, okay, looks like we've got icons to indicate to us which responses we're doing. Okay, so this is my best friend, so I'm not gonna start flirting with them right away. I don't even know this person. I'm just feeling a little homesick, that's all.
Ah, that's perfectly understandable. This is a big change for you, and pretty sudden, too. Just take your time. Nobody expects anything instant here. Besides...
Before he can continue, he's cut off by a loud beeping noise. A light on the dashboard starts to flash, causing him to groan in annoyance. He looks down for a moment and presses a button to silence the intrusion.
Distracted driving? Of course. Apparently, this thing doesn't want me talking to my friend. I guess it thinks you're a risk? Maybe you should take that as a compliment.
Hey, look, you can talk to your friend without taking your eyes off the road, okay, buddy? I shrug, unsure of how to respond, as I rest my head on the window. According to the system, almost everything was a risk these days. It wasn't worth losing the points, so we sit and remain in silence. A few moments later, the silence is finally broken. I'm thankful, as things were starting to get a little awkward. But I guess meeting someone for the first time is always like that.
Well, it was nice of him to pick you up from the airport. Isaac, right? Make sure to keep people like him close by during a change like this. Things may seem a bit uncertain right now, but remember, that's not a bad thing.
Excuse me. He fiddles with a few papers in his hands before pulling out a specific sheet. Placing it on the table between us, he slowly slides it over to my side of the room. I pick it up and inspect it for a few moments. It's a basic questionnaire.
If you could just fill out the basics, that would be great.
Oh, good. I hope this is when we get to customize our character a little bit.
Obviously, I know who you are, but we need to leave a paper trail. You fill that out, and I'll decide our topics for the day, all right?
I love games where you get to customize your character. I nod, grabbing the pen that rests on the table beside me. These sessions were always boring, especially the first few. A new city and a new counselor, right back to square one. After filling out the form, I place it on the table and slide it back. The counselor picks it up, inspects it, and gives me a knowing nod.
All that aside, I assume that you still prefer the name Delta? It was mentioned in the note sent over by your previous counselor.
Well, guess I'm Delta.
Don't worry, it's normal. A lot of people your age shy away from their birth name.
I see what you're putting down there.
Why spend our lives with something that's been decided for us, right? Things are a lot more flexible than we give them credit for. That includes the future, a fact that people tend to forget.
I really don't know where he's going with this. He taps the papers against his lap, straightening them out.
Allow me to be a little blunt. I mean, we both know why you're here.
Do we?
My practice focuses on people like yourself, those who saw nothing. Honestly, that's a very small group. It must get lonely for you sometimes.
I shrug.
There's a single question I like to ask my new patients. So, excuse the cliche, but how does that make you feel? Being alone while billions receive a glimpse of the future.
I thank him for rubbing it in, ensuring that the sarcasm is clear.
It's the opposite, actually. I meant to give you some support. Imagine being constrained by a vision of your future, consumed by it. You have what some people would call freedom, a truly blank slate. Remember, Komorebi is a relatively new phenomenon. Society has flourished for thousands of years without it.
I see.
Some would consider your situation a blessing. Don't forget that.
I can tell he's giving a speech that he's given many times before. Because of that, it seems to lose some of its impact and wisdom. Yes, I agree, Xenomnia. His voice is very soothing. As I close my eyes, I simply hope that this all is over soon. The TV report continues, and I open my eyes with slight hesitation. I've only been here for a few days, and rest is almost impossible to find. A new start to your life is always stressful after all. At least I have friends.
I can't believe they're making us watch this. 100 years of visions? Nobody cares. Looks like Argus just wants to stroke their own ego.
Dante leans forward, taking the opportunity to chime in.
Yeah, this is more about the system than anything else. Maybe they should fix all the glitches before boasting. Watch. Soon it'll say talking over their propaganda is risky.
Isaac leans forward, whispering as if the topic is sensitive.
You're not supposed to badmouth the system, Dante.
As if my score could get any lower, man.
Oh my god, I do not like this society.
Besides, Delta has definitely seen my true colors by now. I'm under no obligation to keep up the nice guy act.
Why does it have to be an act? Can't you just, be nice?
Dante scoffs.
Too much effort, not enough caffeine. And you know the system is messed, Isaac. We're all on a leash. They just use Komorebi as an excuse to make it stay that way.
Can't argue with that one. Hey, Delta, didn't you have an appointment soon? Maybe I can use you as an excuse to stop watching this thing.
And you're telling me to be nice.
I laugh at the retort and lean back in an attempt to relax. I let Isaac know that he was right, but my appointment wasn't for a while. Plenty of time to gather my thoughts and continue watching this report. Yeah, I definitely need to gather my thoughts. There's a fog over my mind and I feel so scatterbrained. Grounding myself in this new environment would definitely help. Okay.
Interact with each word to learn more about it.
Alright. Am I gonna be timed, or do I have enough time to check out all these? Well, I would like to know some more about the system first. I do not like the system from what I've heard of it so far.
Upon interacting with all four, your experience will continue.
Ah, thank you. Okay. Because of the chaos that ensued during the advent of Komorebi, a plan was needed. There were too many people acting recklessly in the face of their futures. Whether avoiding or fulfilling the visions, risky behavior was a constant. A new system was introduced that governed the behavior of the people. You would be held accountable for all of your actions, regardless of legality. This was an attempt to keep people in line and focused on the present. Live in a safe, orderly manner, and you'd accrue points over your lifetime. If you did the opposite, you'd lose points. Be rude, speed, litter, stuff like that. Your point total would define you as either an asset or a liability to society. While primitive at first, this concept grew as technology progressed. It is currently integrated into every possible device: phones, cars, homes. The demand is clear. Be rewarded for your subservience to the system. Crime and accident rates plummeted due to this, and society is on a tight leash. But some people argue that living in chains isn't really living at all. Life is all about taking risks and making progress, they say. Fight as they might, however, no movement has resulted in any change. Your worth in society is dictated solely by your score in the system. Generations later, managing your points is simply the norm. Ugh. Well, that just sounds deliciously dystopian, doesn't it? Well, let's try to learn a little bit more about what this whole Komorebi thing is, or was. One day, the world was changed forever. Billions of people experienced vivid visions of the future. These could not be mistaken for dreams. It seemed to be true precognition. The visions that people had would follow them for the rest of their lives. Replaying at the worst possible times, it was almost like an intrusive thought. Whether positive or negative in nature, these visions still consumed lives. Nobody knew how or why this happened, but it was far too late. Chaos ensued. Those who saw personal success went to great lengths to fulfill their visions. Those who saw personal failures did anything they could to avoid them. It wasn't just a one-time event either. Komorebi overstayed its welcome. Children and grandchildren grew up alongside this odd phenomenon. They too experienced their own visions around the age of 13. The world became obsessed with the future, obsessed with Komorebi. It was a word describing sunlight that shines down through the trees, a simple and poetic metaphor for the visions filtering into our world. Okay. Well, I think I've got a bit of a better grasp on that. So what exactly is this odd news report that we're being forced to watch? Today marks the 100th anniversary of Komorebi. Nothing has ever been the same since then, and I don't think it ever will be. The current state of technology and society is vastly different than it would have been. At the top of it all, right next to the world leaders, is the Argus Corporation. They created the system. They create almost every device we use today. In many ways, they affect our lives even more than those in power. The report is basically going over the history of Komorebi and Argus. But to be honest, it seems a little self-serving and very unnecessary. Isaac was right. It's like they just want to stroke their own egos. They made it mandatory viewing, too. If you ignore the special report, you'd lose some points. Essentially, our social status is being held for ransom. But if there's one thing that nobody can monitor, it's what I'm thinking of. So while I'm watching, at least I have time to gather my thoughts. Okay, and what is this appointment that Delta has later today? While the Komorebi phenomenon was peculiar, there was also something else. Some people saw nothing, left completely in the dark with no vision at all. Less than 1% of the world experienced this, a very small group. But it was still extremely worrying. What did seeing nothing mean? Were you dead? Nobody knew. Depression and suicidal ideation became commonplace among this group. They are assigned a counselor who meets with them on a regular basis. I am one of these people. I never experienced my own vision. People always worry for me and fear that I may do something rash. In reality, however, I'm fine. My lack of a vision has never defined me. Because I moved to a new city to live with friends, I was given a new counselor. It's kind of lame to start all over after spending so many years with the last one, too. But I'm told that this doctor is great and I'll feel at home in just a few sessions. Okay, I'm liking this so far. I let out a soft sigh, and everything suddenly feels better. It's crazy how much a quick mental breather can help. My last counselor is the one who taught me that. He told me that our mind is like an office full of filing cabinets. If we don't gather our thoughts, they just lay around, piling up. We may need to set some time aside to process and filter them. Sometimes a simple metaphor like that can really change the way you think. Unwanted thoughts can be thrown away like trash while you organize the rest. If our mind was a physical space, we'd never neglect it. We'd keep it immaculate. As if it was perfectly timed, the report ends alongside that train of thought. The energy level in the room immediately skyrockets now that we're free. Honestly, it was a waste. That was an hour we'll never get back. Alright, back to the therapist's office. Something tells me these first few sessions will be a total bust. I never found it fun to talk about myself, and now I'm forced to do it. Hopefully the notes my last counselor sent over will help him get up to speed.
You know, you're something of an anomaly to me. Most people in your situation have less than stellar scores. But you seem to exist in the middle, a truly neutral ground. A preliminary look at your risk profile shows me almost nothing. But on the other hand, you haven't done much to gain points either.
Oh gee, it's almost as though I'm a blank slate for the player to project their desires onto. Anyway. Another ambiguous statement. I asked him if that was good or bad.
I don't know, actually. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Hello, smiley faces. Thank you for joining the stream. I am playing a demo of Komorebi right now, which is an upcoming furry visual novel from Clace. Also, I did put a link in the description of this video if you want to check out more about the game and also download the preview of it for yourself.
It's a little ironic, though, isn't it? In regards to the system, I mean. Your score is meant to define you as a person, yet you elude that definition. Then again, I'm no stranger to attracting those that go against the norm. Would you mind answering a few personal questions for me, Delta? Nothing too intrusive. I just want to get a feel for who you are.
And the info about the game should be popping up momentarily. I nod, seeing no harm in this. It's why I'm here, after all.
Well then, let's start with the basics. Why did you move here? What did you leave behind? Big life changes like this are rarely without cause.
I shrug, unsure of where to start. There was a lot to say and little time to say it. At least we have our first few sessions cut out for us. Yeah, I feel that. Whenever you're seeing like a counselor or a therapist, they give you an hour, less than an hour even, and like that is not enough time to go over all of your issues. And the only thing needed to secure your defeat is holding the belief.
Welcome
that
to
you've
the
already
first of
won.
4 fragment maps.
You're a fragment map.
This is how you will navigate through your personal experience. The top row is made up of pivotal fragments.
Okay.
You must complete all 6, but can complete them in any order.
Huh.
Upon completing all 6, you can interact with this arrow to move forward. You will witness a culmination of this fragment map before moving on to the next.
Okay.
The second row consists of personal heart-to-heart fragments.
Yes. I know, it's a dating game.
These are optional but highly recommended, as they are the key to forming bonds and relationships.
Okay.
Right now, you only have access to Isaac and Dante, but that will change as things progress.
Oh, I'm sure I'm gonna meet a whole cast of characters.
The bottom row consists of supplemental fragments. These are skits based on exchanges made in your group's chat room.
Ooh, we get a chat room? Oh, that's fun.
For your benefit, they will be portrayed just like any other fragment. Upon completing a pivotal fragment, you will unlock a journal entry. These explore Delta's personal thoughts as events slowly unfold.
Okay.
There will be 5 to unlock in each fragment map, and they unlock in a predetermined order. Should you wish, you can also toggle the nostalgia filter. This will apply a vintage look to your experience.
Okay.
You are now ready to continue your journey unhindered. Check marks will appear beside completed fragments, so you can monitor your progress. It is also recommended that you alternate between various fragment types.
Ah, so I can't just speed run these and then go down to these, huh? Okay.
Enjoy, and make it an experience to remember.
I shall do my best. Okay, now, first of all, what's this filter?
Would you like to change the status of the nostalgia filter?
Oh, it just makes it black and white. Okay.
Would you like to change the status of the nostalgia filter?
Yeah, let's go ahead and turn that off. I wonder if it might be helpful to folks with color blindness or various visual impairments. Okay, so it looks like this is like maybe a conference room. This is a desk. This looks like a restaurant. This is a city. This is the therapist's office, and that is a kitchen. Now, supposedly I can do these in any order I want. And what about these down here? I don't really have any indication. I don't want to do the heart-to-hearts with the supporting characters just yet because I really don't know much about them as people, and I'd like to get to know them a little bit more before I delve into that. So let us... I'm gonna do this one with the desk.
Experience Pivotal Fragment. Special Delivery.
Sure, why not? Sometimes, finding yourself just means realizing how lost you really are. It's like I'm opening a fortune cookie every time I load into a new fragment. I enter Isaac's store, and I'm immediately taken aback by how fancy it is. The massive Argus Corporation logo at the back is kind of blinding, though. In spite of that, I make my way toward it, and closer to Isaac. He stands behind the register, lost in thought, but I could tell he was tired. That's why I have this boxed lunch in my hands. He forgot it at home, and I wasn't busy. It was a pretty harmless delivery, all things considered. I'm sure it'd make him happy. Upon seeing me, his ears immediately perk up, and the appearance of stress melts away.
Delta! Oh, what a lifesaver you are! Ugh, the only thing worse than working is working on an empty stomach. I promise it won't happen again. I'm not normally forgetful like this.
No problem. You can always count on me.
Good to know. But I still won't make a habit out of it. Asking for favors isn't my strong suit, so I never know what to give in return. The party plans are making progress, though, so maybe that's a good start.
He gives me a soft smile, and then turns back to his computer. As he faces his work once more, the smirk turns into a grimace. It was almost like his worries melted away as we spoke. Flattering.
You'll never guess what happened. 10 of my installations this month have backfired.
Oh no.
That means the people who bought them made illegal modifications.
Oof.
Basically, I lose the commission. Normally, I don't care, but 10 in a row?
I'm assuming that's excessive.
Something is clearly going on.
He strokes his chin, like he's lost in thought. It's odd how he hates when people mod their gear, but he does it all the time. I decide to ask him more about why. Nobody's around to spy or anything.
Not just modifications, Delta. Illegal modifications. What I do is harmless, and I still follow the terms of service. These people are actively causing harm, using the tech to aid in crimes and stuff.
Oops. Right. Isaac wouldn't be the type of person to commit a crime.
Besides, Argus wouldn't care if they found out about my mods. That's why we have zeros. You can basically abandon the system entirely.
Huh.
So when I mute an AI or change the colors of lights, it's nothing. I'd like to think that Argus has bigger problems. I mean, they clearly do.
Makes sense to me. And now I understand why Isaac's house is so under-equipped. Why implement invasive technology in your home if you don't have to, right? I'm with you on that one, Isaac. You could stick to the bare minimum, just enough to satisfy Argus.
I still feel like trash, though. It's my job to detect potential fraud. They slipped through my fingers, so I enabled their crimes. Argus can dock me points for that. Such a stupid rule.
That hardly seems fair. None of this seems to fit Isaac either, and it's odd. A man peddling wares he doesn't support, or even use in his own life? Willingly giving Argus eyes and ears everywhere except his own home? I vocalize these thoughts, and he shrugs.
A job is a job. That's what I always say.
Yeah, I feel that, Isaac.
Besides, it can never hurt to stay on Argus's good side. Climb the ladder, and you won't be there when they tip it over.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
I like working around people, too. And I mostly sell phones, anyway. Big-scale installations like vehicles and home security are few and far between. Can't argue with selling a kid their first phone, though. Connecting them to the world.
That's fair. I'd be a bit conflicted if I were in his situation, though. Argus has never done anything wrong, but they're still feared by a portion of the world. Working for them could be seen as working for the enemy by a lot of people. Argus is so secretive about everything they do, it's hard not to theorize. It could be solved by some more transparency, but they're never willing to offer that. Something about a mysterious corporation running the world seems to strike more obedience.
Hey, Delta. Let me see your phone.
Oh god, what are you doing? Huh?
Come on. I promise not to scroll through your gallery.
I have nothing to hide.
No one ever does. Seriously, though, phone up.
I shrug and hand him my phone. He looks around the store to make sure nobody is watching. Then a second later, he runs the phone along some kind of scanning device.
Want to know what I just did?
He throws my phone back at me. Thankfully, I catch it.
I just stole your identity.
Oh my god, no! What?
Rule number 1, never hand over your phone. Even if it's someone you trust, it's just not worth it. One simple scan and I can do almost anything I want. I could put your info on a new phone, impersonate you online. I could even overwrite the info on your current phone, change your identity.
It's just a phone.
But I'd never do anything like that. Probably.
Before I can do anything, he starts laughing.
I'm just screwing with you, Delta. I'd never mess around with important stuff like that.
Yeah, trying to teach me a lesson, huh?
I did a few things that might help you out while you look for a job, though. Play along with what I'm about to say. I need an excuse for the computer.
Okay. He clears his throat and then starts using an acting voice, like he's playing a part.
Terribly sorry for the inconvenience. Argus values you more than that. The next 6 months of all Argus-related subscription services are on the house. And not only that, but all Argus-associated venues will be 20% off.
I like the sound of that. Whoa.
Is there anything else I can do for you at this juncture?
He winks at me, and I'm not sure what to do or how to take what just happened. I appreciate the gesture, but there's no way what he did was allowed. He said he'd never break the law, though. I trust him, despite the anxiety. There's no telling what may come from this. I just wanted to do a good deed, and now I feel immoral. Completing the opposite of what I desired, I leave Isaac with his meal. Maybe we'd have some time to talk about this later. I don't know, man. He just gave you some free stuff. Look, my motto is, if anybody ever offers you something for free, you take advantage of that. And hey, you got free Argus. 20% off venues, that sounds pretty cool. And he said it would help me on my job search, so he was only looking out for a friend. Alright, we got a little check mark next to this one, which means it is completed. What are these? Let me try one of these.
Experience supplemental fragment. Delta's arrival?
Sure. They said I should try to jump around between the types of fragments I do, so let's try this one out. I mean, look, I've had friends who worked for, like, stores, and they hook me up with free product and stuff like that. I'm only seeing it as an
Delta
example.
has officially arrived.
Sweet! And not a moment too soon. Everything going good so far? Yeah, definitely good. And listen up. All that stuff Isaac yapped about, it's totally true. Hey! He means that in a good way, Delta. Don't worry, it's not like you're a stranger. That gives you an instant edge in my books. Yeah, reputation was definitely preceded. We heard all kinds of things. Some of them were even good. Either way, it's nice to see somebody live up to the hype. Thanks for coming. And allow me to say, welcome aboard. Yeah, I'll echo that one. Welcome aboard. Remember, now that you're in the group chat, it's official.
Ooh, do I get the group chat now?
Whoever you were before, it just doesn't matter anymore.
Okay.
You're better now.
Guys, remember when I told you to give Delta a normal greeting?
Nope.
Typical. Well, now that the red carpet is rolled out, we still on for this weekend, Taylor?
Yeah, excited to see what all the fuss is about. You're being way too secretive. No way we're just going to the club.
Don't worry, it'll all make sense. I know discretion isn't exactly your strong suit.
And subtlety isn't yours, but I'll yield. I already told my viewers I wasn't streaming anyway. Not even in IRL. Whatever you've got planned, I'll take it to the grave.
Good.
I have a theory. Yeah? I think Isaac finally cracked. Needs help hiding a body.
Not true.
And what proof do you have?
You're still alive.
Okay, I'm gonna put a stop to that one real quick. I don't want this group chat putting me up on a witness stand one day. No scandals, got it?
Right. No scandals.
Ugh, you're so boring.
Here's something that might change your mind then. There's a chance we could end up on the news.
Pressure! The news? And you thought we were being extra. Anything else you want to drop on us? Don't worry, I'll be nice.
Not sure. Most of this is up in the air.
Well, you promised to be fun, so I guess that's all I need. Even if it feels like you're making everything up as you go along.
You know me, I'd never do that. And trust me, it'll be amazing. Just don't drink too much. We don't want a repeat of, the incident.
Uh-oh. No incidents, please.
Not my proudest moment. Keep it down around Delta, alright?
Then I guess you should be on your best behavior.
Blackmail? What did I just say about scandals?
Hey, it's only a scandal if he turns it into one.
That's not how that works. And look, Delta hasn't even said anything. I knew we'd scare them away in a matter of seconds.
Okay, so this is the group chat. They're just using the visuals of the characters to make it more visually appealing for the player. Got it. Okay. I am going to send a popcorn emoji to try breaking the ice.
Perfect response. I knew you were going to be our comic relief, Delta. Do a good job and you'll go from guest star to main cast easy.
And there goes Dante, treating everything like a work of fiction. This is real life, dude. It doesn't always work out like you expect.
But when it does, it's always worth the wait. Besides, it's not like a little silver lining ever hurt anybody.
All these people are typing in perfect sentences, and it's a little immersion breaking. But hey, maybe in the future, the corporation or the system or whatever it is requires people to type with proper sentence structure and capitalization grammar, or else you lose points. So you know what? I'm just gonna assume that's what's going on here.
Except for the people it hurt, you mean? Anyway, there's lots to do, so we should get back to it. The sooner we help Delta settle in, the sooner we can relax.
Ooh, crack open a cold one for me. I need to start streaming. Hopefully I can retain some of the followers I got from that charity gig. You're gonna be fine. It's not like you were doing bad to begin with, but yeah, time to put down our phones. Labor awaits. Let me know how it goes. I'll come and meet Delta soon enough.
Sounds great. See ya.
Okay, so the supplemental fragments on the bottom are group chat sessions. Okay. And this right here is Taylor, but doesn't look like I have them yet. Nico is here. Hello, Nico. I don't know if you just joined or if you've been here the whole time, but in any case, I am playing Komorebi, which is actually a sneak preview demo of an upcoming furry visual novel. I am gonna pop the information for that into the chat right about now. Oh, I hope we don't have too much of a lag on here. But in any case, yes. Ah, you just joined. Well then, not to worry. There is plenty more to go. I believe Clace has said that this demo should take about 2 hours. And of course, the fact that I am streaming and chatting in between will stretch it out a little bit longer. So, let's see. Let's do the kitchen one.
Experience pivotal fragment. Introspeculation.
Sure. Oh, I just thought of something. Maybe... Okay, nostalgia is like a broken mirror. Recreate the past and you'll end up full of cuts. Maybe the people that are grayed out are not included in the demo version. I throw my head back and take a shot. The alcohol quickly burns my throat. After a couple coughs, I let out a noise that signals my satisfaction. I can't help but feel happy as a warm feeling rises within me.
I guess Delta is a lightweight too. Looks like you have some competition, Taylor.
Hey, it's not a competition if the victor is clear. $100 says I pass out before they do.
Oh, now this is gonna be interesting.
Here, let me get the music. We need a theme song for Taylor's demise. Wow, have some faith, dude. As if your ego needs to get any bigger. If I could afford it, my money would go right on Delta. Wait, you can't afford it? I thought your books were bestsellers. Yeah, they were. Anyway, what do you want to hear? You all okay if I put on some Clace? I could go either way.
You know, I heard he could too.
Oh, really? He'd fit in well with us then. Whoa, speak for yourself, man. We don't all hit on everyone we see.
Yeah, I made sure to warn my friend about that. Meeting a boozed-up tailor is certainly an, experience.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment.
Please don't.
Always gotta ruin my fun. But go ahead, put on some clays. Not very party-like, just sitting here in silence.
Dante smiles and pulls out his phone. The speakers in the corners of the room let out a noise, signaling his connection. After a few moments of scrolling through his device, he decides on a song.
Party time? Party time!
He presses play with a wide grin on his face, and music fills the room. Isaac grabs the bottle of vodka resting on the table and stands up tall.
And that means more shots!
Oh no. He slides his shot glass across the table in my direction. Dante does the same, but in Taylor's direction. Oh no, they really do want to test our tolerance.
Prepare for trouble!
He throws the bottle in the air and catches it with a flourish.
We're making it a double.
Hey, I see what you did there. He walks over to me and fills up both shot glasses with vodka. A moment later, he does the same to Taylor, topping us up. I tell him I'll do it as long as him and Dante do it too.
You have yourself a deal. 4 for you, 4 for us.
You really want us to pass out, huh? Don't think your friend would like being stood up.
We'll pace ourselves, don't worry. Remember, we're not leaving for 3 more hours.
Taylor is just way too excited over there in the corner. Oh, looks like Gramps is heading out. Take care. I appreciate you stopping by the stream for as long as you did. And if you want to see what happened after you left, as a reminder, I will always have the recordings of my streams up on my YouTube channel for you to watch at your leisure. And if you would like to try playing Komorebi yourself, there is a link in the description of the video to download the demo. So take care and have a nice rest of your day, Gramps.
So you're saying drink up?
I'm surprised you haven't already.
As if that were a direct challenge, Taylor and I both take our shots. Then, in one swift motion, we slide the glasses over to Isaac and Dante. Filling them up almost immediately, Isaac then strikes a thinking pose.
We should have a toast.
To what?
Taylor's inebriation is becoming clear as he wobbles slightly. If the earlier wager were official, I guess he'd be winning.
I live by many rules, but one has never let me down. Always let a rider make the toast. It's what they do best.
Yeah, so the purple one, whose name I've not learned yet, is the writer. Dante, yes. All eyes are immediately on Dante.
Wow. No pressure or anything.
Come on, it's an honor.
It's my job. It's not a party trick, but sure. Let me think of something.
Him and Isaac both pick up one shot glass in unison. There's a pause for a few moments while Dante decides what to say. But after a little while of thinking, he seems to give up and laugh.
You know what? This one's just from the heart. Here's to getting wasted with the people that matter.
Yeah, with the people that matter. And with any luck, that list will keep on growing.
Taylor and I hold our hands up like we were taking shots as well. We all say cheers, and they down the vodka faster than Isaac poured it. Talk about getting a head start on the night. Buzz before supper time.
Speaking of which, who are we meeting? You gonna tell us who this friend of yours is?
Nope. But honestly, I'm nervous too. I've never met him, so it's not just you.
Wait a second. You've never even met him?
Correct.
And you think I move fast with guys?
Hey, it's not like he's a stranger, man. He's just never been in town until today.
Aw, thank you for the hug, Nico. You may have, in return, a crisp high five.
but we've been friends online for a while now. Trust me, he's good. No need to worry.
Oh my god, Owler's toast is way better than Dante's. There are good ships, there are wood ships, there are ships that sails the sea, but the best ships are friendships, and may they always be. Aw, that one's very catchy. I like that very much. See, you should be in the game, Outlaw, instead of fucking Dante or whatever his name is. I can see why his books aren't doing so well anymore.
If you say so.
Then again, he is a little bit inebriated, so that's probably affecting his creative thinking skills at this point in time.
Anyone who gives me free booze is good in my books.
Nope. Just the anxiety making me ramble. Hence all the liquid courage we just ingested. Might want to switch to rum, though. Vodka's running dry.
He shakes the bottle with an embarrassed laugh. We've already gone through a whole bottle? Wow. Isaac must have a weird definition of pacing.
Rum? I'm down. I'll go grab the cola. I think it's time to start mixing. Those straight shots are really starting to creep up on me.
With dramatic flair, he acts like he's passing out. Then a moment later, his head rests on my shoulder. I laugh and exchange awkward glances with everyone else.
Or maybe you could get it for me, Delta. I fear I've gotten a bit lightheaded over here.
I have no problem doing a favor for a friend, so I agree. But a temptation rises within me to mess with him before I get up. Looking down at him, I think of what message I'd like to send. Okay, so I can be rude by shoving him off my shoulder, or I can be flirty by wrapping an arm around him. Well, I mean, I don't really want to be flirting with this rabbit, but I also don't want to come off as rude, especially since I just moved here and I'm trying to make friends. Also, this is a dating game, so sure, I'll wrap an arm around him. I wrap an arm around him and give him a tight squeeze. The others look a bit surprised, but Taylor sounds incredibly happy.
I'd tell you not to let go, but I really wanted that cola.
Ah, yes, the master of romance.
A lifetime of practice.
A few chuckles fill the room as I stand up and walk to the fridge. The cola is easy to find, even amongst the booze-filled appliance. When I make it back to the table, I notice that Dante is holding the rum.
Man, I'm gonna miss this.
He sighs as he shakes the bottle, swirling the liquid inside. Smiley says they thought Taylor was a kangaroo. I mean, I guess he could be, but I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a rabbit. You don't really see kangaroos too frequently in mainstream furry media. Plus, like, everyone else I've met has been some kind of dog, so I'm assuming he's just meant to be a rabbit. Maybe we'll find out more as we continue. He sighs as he shakes the bottle, swirling the liquid inside.
Well, we can always buy more. It's cheap stuff.
Oh, not that. I meant all of this. In general. Sitting down with your best friends, getting drunk during the day, downing shot after shot like our bodies aren't starting to hate us.
Oh, you mean youth.
Yeah, but at least we made the most of it. Couldn't have asked for a better group of friends.
Aw.
Dude, I feel exactly the same way. I can't even imagine what life would be like without all of you. Just the thought of it is enough to keep me up at night. And it does.
Oh? Finally confessing your feelings for all of us?
Dude, no way. It's just, we're so close now, but are we still in touch in any of your visions?
I shrug, since it's pretty obvious that I've never had a vision. But the rest of them exchange worried glances with one another. They didn't have to say anything. I know exactly what they're thinking.
Oh. Exactly. I can't get it off my mind. I think of you all as my family. But in my vision, you're not even an afterthought.
By now, Dante has fixed all of us some rum and cola. The mood in the room took a turn for the worse, and I stare at my glass. I'm not sure how I fit into this conversation. I'm definitely still the odd one out.
Hey, we're together now, and that's what matters. If you're constantly worried about the future, you'll never enjoy the present. We could drift apart, yeah, but no point in just moping around until it happens.
Isaac looks up from his glass with a smile.
Remember what you said about foresight in the group chat? If we know we might stop being friends, then we need to make the most of it. And I don't know about you, but I think tonight is the perfect night for that.
You know what? You're right. But why do we have to drift apart? Who says we can't be friends forever?
Fate, and quite literally.
Well then, screw fate. I won't let anything take you away from me.
I don't know if we're equipped to fight fate, man. And if well-wishing were a weapon, the world would be much better off. Let's just create some memories that we can revisit whenever we want.
Even when we're no longer together.
Sounds like a plan. Isaac's mood almost instantly reverses, and he holds up his glass.
Now there's a toast.
We touch our glasses together and take a large swig.
And shame on you, Taylor. Using my own words against me? Guess it's true what they say, though. Your own advice is always better when it comes from somebody else.
We're all creatures of self-doubt, man. Can't escape that. But don't worry, Isaac. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not sure if we can beat fate. But I promise to put up one hell of a fight.
That seemed like the perfect end to our discussion. Moving on to more casual topics, we slowly sip our drinks. But this is the first time I've seen the more negative effects of Komorebi. A group of people realizing they might not be friends forever. There's something so liberating yet terrifying about that. It almost seemed like a rite of passage into maturity. But here I sat with no vision to my name and no input at all. As my new life kept going, I'd have no idea what the future could bring. And that thought alone was almost as liberating and terrifying as the alternative. Alright, let me do another one of these here group chats.
Experience supplemental fragment. Noise complaint.
Sure.
Hey, can you keep it down in there?
No.
Hey, come on, man. I got work tomorrow. I need to get some shut-eye.
And I have work right now. Music helps me focus.
Then put on some headphones, Dante.
Yeah, Dante, you gotta be considerate to your roommates.
Or you could put in some earplugs.
Doesn't work like that.
Oh, seriously? I'm being nice.
Hey, both of you, stop. This group chat isn't the place for your lover's quarrel. I'm trying to stream, and you keep blowing up my phone.
Okay, well, Taylor, you should have your phone on silent.
Can't you just turn it off then?
The world doesn't revolve around you, man. Taylor, poll your viewers and see what they say.
Oh my god.
No.
But you owe me one. Remember that net outage during your charity stream?
Fine, hold on.
Several minutes pass without any chat activity.
Just as I thought. They don't care.
Ouch.
Wait, hold on. I actually just got a $50 donation. It says Dante's Headphone Fund.
Then I win!
I think Dante wins, actually.
Being stubborn pays off once again. Transfer that money to me and I'll buy a pair tomorrow. Isaac, one more night with the music and it'll all be over. I promise.
I can't believe there are like 4 people in an apartment together and not one of them owns a pair of headphones that they could lend to him.
Fine, but if you don't follow through, I'm raising your rent.
Ooh,
Controversial.
indeed.
Anyway, now you both owe me one. In the future, work this out at home, all right? Don't make me take advantage of my viewers. It feels wrong.
Fair.
Oh no, another donation. Look what you've started.
I don't think I've ever heard the words, "Oh no, another donation."
Score.
Those are cute. I like them. I think I'm going to do another supplemental fragment.
Experience supplemental fragment. Shady business.
An awkward silence permeates through the group chat. Where is everybody?
At work, trying to close a sale. It's actually a pretty big deal.
Good luck with that. I'm with Taylor right now. He thought it'd be a good idea for me to guest on his stream.
Wait, Taylor accepts guests now?
Everyone wanted to meet me after the headphone incident. Apparently, I became a meme in his chat.
Oh my god.
Wonderful.
Yep, I'm Dante the headphone guy.
Makes sense.
Your parents will be so proud.
I'm writing them a letter as we speak, and I can't talk to you anymore. I'm too famous now.
Oh, already forgetting your friends.
I think I've found my true calling.
He's doing a good job, actually. He should stream in his spare time.
You really think people would want to watch me write?
You have lots of followers. I'm sure they'd love to see the process.
Maybe I'll do it after this weekend. I'm way too excited for our nightclub trip.
Speaking of which, my viewers are a little upset. Are you sure I can't tell them anything about this, Isaac? Not even a little clue?
Nope. And in other news, the sale was closed.
Yay, good job.
Drinks are on you then?
Don't worry about it. Already taken care of.
Wait, seriously?
Seriously.
Taylor, I think Isaac is caught up in shady business.
Our paragon of virtue? No way.
Seriously! He's always home late, and now he's even dodging our questions.
He just wants to treat us. You're reading into it too much.
You say that now.
Oh, come on, man. When have I ever lied to you?
Are you wanting me to get out the list?
Okay, let's do another one of these big ones. Let's do the counselor's office.
Experience pivotal fragment. Another session.
Time for another session. Everybody deserves a chance to start fresh. Even you. The counselor stares at me like he's unsure of what to say. A few sheets of paper in his hand sporadically divert his attention. I can tell he's reading the notes from our previous session, our first session. We didn't get to cover much ground, but it was still a nice experience. I was worried we wouldn't get along, and that was a bit of a stressor. He seems nice, though, and a lot of my worries have dwindled.
Terribly sorry about last time. I hate cutting things short. But when our safety is on the line, I have to make some tough calls. That protest seemed pretty heated. I hope they didn't give you any trouble.
I shake my head. I had no issues getting home. I don't think the protesters wanted to hurt anybody. They wanted change. Obviously, some would fight for that change, but no hands have been forced yet.
Interesting times we live in, Pay a group no mind, and eventually it'll grow unchecked. At this rate, the heads of August might have to get involved. But let's not worry about that right now. We're on the clock. There's a couple of things I wanted to ask you last time, so let's start there. With how calm it is outside today, I don't think we'll have any issues.
giving him a nod, I lean back in my chair. I really didn't need to be here, but I didn't want to lose points either. It seemed like we were in a stalemate until he cleared me as a patient. I only saw my last counselor for so long because it was part of my normal. With a big life change like this, I wanted to leave some of that stuff behind. If he can deem me mentally fit, then I won't have to see him anymore. That could be easy or hard, and it differs from doctor to doctor. But with how we're getting along, I think he can tell that I'm doing well. As I've said many times before, my lack of a vision has never held me back.
This one is actually a bit atypical, but I'll ask it anyway. As we've already established, you're a bit of a unique case. So, if you had the option to experience a vision, would you? I know you say you're fine without one, but this is a different angle. If I could offer you a vision of your future, would you take it? Keep in mind that you might not like what you see. Not at all.
An interesting choice, to be sure. I think I'm fine without Komorebi.
All right, I'll take your word for it. You're a really interesting person, you know. I like that. Most people like you crave Komorebi. To be like everybody else. I've never found any merit in that, though. Trying to be like other people only makes you forget who you are. There's a certain beauty in embracing what makes you special. There used to be a time when you couldn't do that. At least not without being judged by your peers. Even a few generations ago, psychics were a laughingstock. But then Komorebi came along and turned the tables for everybody. My point is that society moves on to a new fad almost every other day. Trying to stay current, trying to fit in, is generally a bad idea. Be yourself, Delta. Your time in the spotlight will come eventually.
I like this counselor. He's a good counselor. I nod, unsure of where he's going with this. He makes me do that a lot, doesn't he?
Regardless of your thoughts right now, in the future you may feel pressured to fit in. I try and give my patients lessons that they can use for the rest of their lives. So even if I end up clearing you as a patient, you'll be just a tad wiser.
You know, when he puts it that way, it sounds kind of cool. I may not need a therapist, but maybe I shouldn't think of him as one. He's like a mentor, an older, wiser person to teach me valuable lessons.
As I was saying, Komorebi changed the way we see almost everything. We look back on history and see prophets all the time, but we never believed them. Seers, soothsayers, fortune tellers, we see them littered throughout our past. But now, it's impossible to justify our skepticism. In fact, it now seems unreasonable to deny. Who's to say that Komorebi wasn't gifted to special people in the past? These people throughout the ages could have just been the first to receive it.
Yeah, maybe like a trial run before giving it to the world.
Interesting take, but you could be right. We do trial runs all the time. No reason why nature can't do the same. It's just that the implications of these visions unsettled a lot of people. I'd advise you not to think of Komorebi as a gift, though. A lot of people without visions do that. They feel like they weren't worthy. That's a downward spiral, though, as I doubt we'll ever be able to prove its origins. But regardless of where it came from, we have to live with it. You seem to be doing pretty good in a world like this, though. You may not fit in, but like I said, you don't need to.
What's with the eyes, smiley faces? He smiles softly and places his papers on the stand beside him.
I'm a bit of an outlier myself, you know.
A worm?
There's a reason why I counsel people like you, Delta. So when I talk about not having visions, just know that I speak from the heart.
Ah. I assume the counselor hasn't had a vision either.
A lot of things you feel over your lifetime, I already have. Doubts, fears, depression. There's a lot that could come your way. If I can make it easier on you, then I consider all of this a success.
Whoa, so he's never experienced Komorebi either? I also find it interesting that he's starting to open up to me. Until just recently, it seemed like he was reciting a self-help book.
You might not experience these things for years to come. But unfortunately, we all have a crisis or two throughout our lives. When yours comes, I hope that you'll look back on these talks with an open mind.
It feels a little harsh to tell me that my life will be difficult in the future, but I guess that's a universal fact. Nobody sails through life without issue. I thank him for what he's told me, and especially for opening up to me.
No worries, Delta. This is a two-way street. I may do most of the talking, but I try to mix it up. I want to talk to you, not at you. It's more personal that way. For example, now you know that I'm just like you. My advice may have seemed generic, but it came from experience, and that, as they say, is the best teacher. So I think we'll mix together well. Let's talk about that during our next session, though. We're almost off the clock. I'd hate to get cut off in the middle of something like we did last time. Just be careful out there when you leave. Could be another protest. Or even worse.
I realize that he's right. The hour of our session has basically flown by. That's probably a good thing, though. Wouldn't want these meetings to drag on. After thanking him for his time, I decide to gather my thoughts before heading out. Ooh, do I have another thought thingy? Yes.
Interact with each word to learn more about it.
Argus.
Upon interacting with both, your experience will continue.
Oh, I'm sure it has to tell me this again because, you can do the main missions in any order, so this might have been my first time encountering one of these choices. Yes, Argus. The inner workings of the corporation are shrouded in mystery. Nobody even knows who runs it, but theories run rampant. Currently, it must be in the hands of the founder's child or children. It's been way too long to remain in the hands of just one generation. But no matter who runs it, their influence on society is clear. A world without the Argus Corporation would be awful. At least, that's what we think. All we can really do is speculate. Either way, the influence and power of this single corporation is immense. They have a monopoly on almost everything, and use it to maintain order. Could be worse. They could use their power for nefarious purposes. Not worth thinking about, though, as there are far more real issues at hand. Namely, the protests and the people living outside our city limits. Zeros. While the system is presented as mandatory, some people still dodge it. They have no score, no identity, and live outside of the city in self-sustaining communities. They're known as Zeros. While originally a small group, they have since grown quite large. But as they grow, so too does the size and scope of our cities. The Argus Corporation has slowly but surely been encroaching on Zero territory. They're running out of space, and the integrity of their communities is more and more at risk. Some people say that they deserve it, but I don't think it's so black and white. Either way, these protests aren't violent, and they aren't calling for any substantial change. Zeros simply want the ability to enter the city legally and purchase what they need to live. They need this because the loss of space means they can't make enough on their own. I'm sure they'll reach a mutual conclusion, but it's odd how involved Argus is. They have such a sway with world powers, but I guess as people say, they did save the world. Maybe they're simply collecting what they now believe is their reward. Let's do... You know what? We haven't done one of the heart-to-hearts yet. I think we'll try one of these heart-to-hearts. Let me do the one with Isaac.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Isaac 1.
Isaac 1, you say? Okay. I enter the living room and notice Isaac sipping a light beer. The TV is on, but he is not really watching it. I can tell he's distracted. There's something he needed to talk to me about. I hope I didn't do anything wrong. He notices my entrance and smiles at me. Some anxiety immediately dissipates. Shifting a bit more to one side of the couch, he gives me ample space to sit beside him. That's exactly what I do. And he turns to face me, as much as he can while sitting down.
Ugh. You know, this stuff tastes awful. But I wouldn't be drinking it if Taylor didn't tease me. I know it's not true, but he keeps talking about my weight.
He takes another sip of the beer.
We did buy tons of junk food for this weekend, though. If I take it easy during the week, I can definitely binge on Friday. Might as well take action before something becomes a problem, right?
Odd thing to say while drinking a beer at 2 p.m.
True. Sometimes we just replace one problem with another. But don't worry, I care too much about work to do something like that. I only drink on days off, and I always make sure to pace myself. Except this weekend, though. Moderation goes out the window. Haven't been to a nightclub in ages. I'm actually kind of nervous.
I feel the same way. Let's be awkward together.
And now there's something I can play along with. Stand in a corner and watch everyone else have fun. Wouldn't want to intrude and start cramping their style.
He takes one final chug, then crushes the can in his hands. There's a bit of an awkward silence after he does this, but I'm not sure why. I ask him why he wanted to meet me here, and ask him if I did something wrong.
Oh, no, not at all. I guess I should have elaborated when I said I wanted to talk. Sorry if you were worrying, I'll handle it better in the future.
Yeah, when talking about serious subjects like that, you can't be vague, because it only makes the other person even more nervous.
I actually wanted to apologize to you, Delta. Your first memory of this house will always be me yelling at Dante. He just struck a chord with me. Has a habit of doing that almost every day. He's always paranoid that Argus will come knocking. But the mods I made to my home are harmless. They'd never care. It's more risky for him to remove my modifications. He could easily screw up, and it's all downhill from there.
Okay, I think I'm getting a clearer grasp of exactly what some of the tension in this household is.
Do anything wrong when you're messing around, and they'll notice. It's like a tightrope. One wrong move, and you're done for. My brain is wired to mess with this stuff. His is not.
I tell him it's fine. We all have things that we're passionate about.
Passionate. Yeah, that's the word. I got a little mad, but my intentions weren't bad, you know? I've worked with this tech for my entire life. I know my way around it. That'd be like me going into his room and messing with his writing. You know, making edits here and there so that I feel better about it. I just want mutual respect for my hobby and career.
That makes sense. I can see where Isaac's coming from. There we go. It makes sense. Isaac definitely seems to know what he's doing. From my understanding, the amount of Argus tech in this home is minimal, but at the same time, it's not illegal. Bend the rules without breaking them, he says.
I guess it's selfish to a degree, though. Because I own this house, I should make sure that everyone feels safe. This situation sucks. I just want to leave all that Argus stuff back at work. It's purely psychological, but to me, Argus is my boss. Nobody wants to go back to a house where their boss is everywhere. Keeping that stuff to a minimum really helps my home feel like it should. A safe place.
Understandable. He shrugs.
At least to me. But I really should consider other people's point of view. I'll just end up like Argus if I expect everyone else to live how I want. Speaking of which, there's something else I wanted to talk about. I mean, it's the real reason I asked you to meet me here today.
Oh? The apology wasn't the real reason? Interesting.
All this talk about how I want things to be, let's change that. There's something I've been meaning to ask you, Delta. And I wish I had more beer for this. More courage.
He blushes and rubs the back of his head. I'm pretty sure I know where he's going with this. At least all signs support my current hypothesis.
I just feel like we should get this out of the way as soon as possible. The feeling of tension in the air is starting to damage my calm. But let's face it, you chose to move here. To live with me. Did you mean anything by that, Delta? This was a lot easier in my head. Really, I'm just curious if you were interested in me. I hope this isn't catching you by surprise. We've been friends online for a while, after all. And moving in here is a pretty big gesture.
He inches a bit closer to me, and he seems much more calm. I guess now that it's out in the open, his anxiety is disappearing. It's never easy to bring up the kind of thing he just brought up.
I'm curious if the gesture was supposed to mean anything. Either way, I'm fine. I just couldn't stop myself from wondering. But if we do go out, expect me to be incredibly awkward.
This does seem a bit sudden, but it's also natural. There's always been chemistry between us, and now we live together. It crossed my mind a few times, but it's clearly racing through his.
No matter what, though. Friends until the end.
What are we thinking? Should I start a relationship with Isaac, or should we just remain friends for the time being? What do you all think in the chat? Should I say we could try being more than friends, or should I say, let's give it time, it's too soon to tell? What does everybody think? I'm also allotting a little bit of time for the stream delay, because it seems like it's a little bit harsher than usual today. But yes, let me know in the chat. What should we do? Should we date? Or should we not date? And in the meantime, I'm just going to take a little sippy sip of water. I am very glad this game is voice acted. For the most part, it saves me from having to narrate all of the text as I usually do with the games that I'm playing on here. Like Night in the Woods is a great game, but it does suffer from that. And I'm always going to read the text as often as I can, because I know there are folks who watch my streams without any visuals, be that by choice or due to, disabilities that they may have. So I try to read out as much as I can so that my streams are accessible to everybody. Okay, we do have some commentary here. Smiley says, I don't know how he acts since I joined a bit late, but yeah, since it's a dating game. And Stella, hi Stella. Stella says, I also just joined, but go for it. Okay, so it looks like we are gonna go for it. Okay, Isaac, we could try being more than friends.
Glad to hear it, Delta. Took a real shot in the dark, but my aim was on point. You're willing to try, and that actually means a lot to me.
Aww. He places a hand on the top of my leg.
The world could use more people like you. Willing to embrace new experiences, new people even. Everyone else seems to be a creature of routine these days. Argus has made sure of that one. But sometimes a routine is more like a prison. So, let's embrace our freedom. Let's drink beer at 2 p.m.
Let's not do that. He smirks and stands up from the couch. I say, why not? And accept his offer to share a beer. The air is clear, and it seems like we can carry on like normal.
All right, but let's not do this every day. Next time, we'll go to the coffee shop and hang out. You know, it could be our first date, or whatever.
That sounds wonderful. He leaves the room to retrieve more beer. I feel like our bond will become stronger because of what just happened. Not only did I learn a lot about him, but we made our situation more clear. Hello, Lightning Wolf. Thank you for joining the stream. I am playing a demo of Komorebi, which is a upcoming furry visual novel. So I hope that you enjoy. Every interaction I have while I'm here will settle me in even more. It doesn't feel like home just yet, but every second does more to change that. Okay, let's do another one of the group chats and see if anything is different now that Isaac and I are dating.
Experience supplemental fragment. Betrayal.
A betrayal? Oh no, what could this be?
Hey, I'm gonna be home late tonight.
Again?
Again.
What's going on?
Nothing, really. Just a lot of sales to close.
Raking in the cash lately, huh?
I wish. But not really. Already capped my commission for the month.
Wait, what? What incentive is there to sell products then?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to get fired?
Oh, valid.
Oop, welcome back to Xenomnia. Had to walk the dog. Ah, yes. I understand how that goes. I'm enjoying the game so far pretty well. It is definitely quite engaging. I just spoke with Isaac, the guy on the left, and we decided that we're going to start dating, so that's exciting, and I'm interested to see how the game progresses from here, essentially.
Besides, I'm hoping to nab that promotion next year. Putting in this extra work just seems like the right thing to do.
You're still on about that?
Of course.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Why not?
You? With more responsibility?
Okay, we're fighting now.
I'm prepared.
No. Remember what I said about fighting in here? Either way, good luck with the promotion. I bet it's already yours.
Yeah, don't fight in the group chat, everybody. Just take it to DMs, okay?
Thanks, Taylor. At least you believe in me.
I never said I didn't believe.
You didn't have to.
Yeah, we can read between the lines.
What lines?
I totally plan to treat all the people that rooted for me. So don't think I'll forget about this betrayal, Dante.
Ooh.
Betrayal?
Shots fired.
I'm just looking out for you, man. Don't want you to bite off more than you can chew.
I'm honestly surprised.
Hmm?
All that time with your nose buried in books. Figured you'd know how to read a room by now, too.
Okay, we're fighting now. I'm prepared.
Okay, let's see. We have 1, 2, 3 more main missions, and we've got 4 more of these group chat things, and another one of the heart-to-hearts left. So let's do another main mission. I will do this one.
Experience pivotal fragment. First arrival.
Yes. The people we end up hating are usually the ones we love the most. Okay, that definitely sounds like garbage you'd get out of a fortune cookie. I grabbed my bags from the trunk. An easy task, as I made sure to pack light. The point of this journey was to leave my baggage behind, not carry it with me. Isaac steps in to help out, and I turn to face the house, my new home.
Well, what do you think? The pictures don't do it justice, do they? It has its quirks, but it served all of us just fine.
It's beautiful. I'm glad to finally be here.
And we're glad to have you, Delta. We'll get along great. And it'll liven things up, too. Don't tell him I said this, but living with Dante can get a little tiring.
He smiles at me before closing the trunk and locking everything up. I carry 2 of my bags while he carries the other 2. An equal team. We make our way to the front door and place everything down in sync.
Hold on.
He pulls out his phone and holds it up against the entry scanner. A small beep sounds, and then a moment later, the door unlocks. At least the security system protecting this house was solid.
Welcome home, Isaac. You may leave the house 2 more times today.
Oh my god. Nope. I do not want to be limited how many times I can leave my own fucking house. If I lived in this society, I would become a 0 for sure. I don't need fucking Siri in my house telling me how many times I can go out.
Remember, a good score makes a good citizen.
Nuh-uh. I'm not about that.
Yeah, whatever. I definitely muted this stuff the other day. Dante must have freaked out and removed my mods. Again.
That's true. Tampering with the system at home was a big deal. I don't think Isaac was up to anything shady, though. He probably just liked silence. Typically, people would mess with the system when they had something worth hiding.
Well, let's get you settled. With how tired you were in the car, I guess you deserve a nap. But don't mess up your sleep schedule. We gotta watch that report tomorrow.
I nod, and now that the door is open, we pick everything up. Using his shoulder to nudge the door open, we slowly enter the house. I've seen so many pictures of this place, but seeing it for real was incredible. The living room is incredibly spacious. It looked much smaller when I saw it online. One thing that stands out to me, however, is the lack of integrated technology. It looks like a living room frozen in time around 30 years ago. Interesting. This sight, combined with how Isaac acted at the door, revealed one thing. He must not be a big fan of the system. Not everyone is, though. It's fine. I think it's actually cool how quickly you learn stuff about people after meeting them for real. I can see Dante sitting on the couch, engulfed in his phone. Isaac seems a little mad and confronts him immediately.
Hey, Dante, did you mess with those changes I made the other day? I thought I told you to play along with those. I do it for a reason.
Dante's ears perk up and he immediately rises from the couch. I can tell he let his guard down, but he was eagerly awaiting our entrance. Whatever kind of first impression he was planning, his lack of awareness destroyed it.
Man, can't you see that I'm looking out for you? If they found out about your tinkering, they'd dock you points. Or worse. I'm sure Delta has my back here. Messing with Argus just isn't worth it.
Putting me on the spot the second after you meet me? Nice. I scratch my head, and Isaac looks at me, likely expecting my support. Well, I have Isaac's back here. His house, his rules.
True, but it's only a matter of time before we're tried as accomplices.
I mean, not if nobody finds out.
Argus may be many things, but forgiving isn't one of them. Look at how the Zeros are treated. See what I mean?
Let's just change the topic, all right? I know I brought it up, but I don't want our first meeting to be an argument. Besides, I work for Argus. I know what I'm doing when I make changes.
If by work you mean enforce the system on others, then sure. You do a lot of things that you'd report other people for doing.
Hey, not fair. I may tamper with some hardware, but I never break laws. You'd be surprised how much you can bend the rules without breaking them. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but please, just trust me.
Dante shrugs.
Fine. Still the best deal on housing I've come across. Can you at least tamper with the system and let us skip that report tomorrow? If you're gonna bend the rules, might as well do something practical with it.
That one toes the line way too much. I'll have to pass. It's only an hour, just put in some earbuds or something.
I mean, it's not hard to just zone out while staring at the screen, right?
I'm gonna go help Delta unpack and get a bit of rest in.
All right, fair enough. But if Argus ever comes knocking, just know that I won't hesitate before turning you in.
Rude.
That eager to get me in handcuffs, huh?
It's all part of the plan.
Oh my god. Dante steps forward with a laugh and holds out his hand.
I was hoping to hang out for a bit, but I get that you're tired. If you want to bond or whatever, you know where to find me.
I shake his hand and give him a soft nod. If we're gonna be roommates, it makes sense to bond. I let him know that I'll find him as soon as I get some shut-eye.
Perfect. And make sure to prod Isaac for me. He's way too tight-lipped about the nightclub outing this weekend.
Hey! Thanks for ruining the surprise!
Your fault, keeping secrets from your friends like that.
I shrug. I knew that Isaac would plan a party, so it's no big deal. Dante smirks at me and then returns to his spot on the couch. Oh, you heading out, Smiley? Well then, I will say take care. Thank you so much for stopping by the stream. I super appreciate it. If you want to catch whatever you miss after leaving, just keep in mind that I always have the recordings of my streams up on my YouTube channel after watching. And if you would like to try out Komorebi yourself, maybe pick some of the options that I didn't pick or stuff like that, I will have a link in the description to where you can download the demo. Take care and have a great rest of your day. I've met people like him before, an agent of social chaos.
Your friend seems pretty cool, Isaac. Maybe I should start trusting you a bit more often. A group like us? Add Taylor to the mix, and we'll do great things.
Isaac scoffs, but then quickly displays a large smile as Dante becomes lost in his phone.
Head always in the clouds, that one. Almost prefer when he locks himself in his room to write. Before we pick up your luggage, though, hold on a sec. This has been a long time coming, and I never got a chance to at the airport.
He steps forward and wraps his arms around me. I do the same, and we stand there for a few moments in a tight embrace. I have no idea why this is the first time I felt it, but this really was the fresh start I wanted.
Welcome home, Delta. And just like Dante said, great things.
I released the hug with a big smile on my face. This was it. Finally, the start of my new life. Neat. I am going to do a couple more group chats.
Experience supplemental fragment. Pre-game plans.
Pre-gaming, let's go!
Hey, question.
Potential answer?
You all down to pregame before the nightclub?
Like you even had to ask.
Fair enough. Taylor?
Absolutely.
And Delta?
I'll play it by ear, actually.
No problem. I'll pick up a few things. Any suggestions?
Vodka.
Champagne.
Cranberry juice.
Orange juice.
Whoa, slow down. Remember, all the drinks at the club are covered. There's no need to be extravagant here. Sheesh.
Isaac, this is an excuse to be as extravagant as possible. If we were paying for both, we'd all be broke when we got home. Let's splurge, at least a little bit. If the bar is covered, we can pregame like royalty.
That doesn't make sense at all, Dante.
That is such an odd way to justify wasting money.
Right?
I don't know, Isaac. He has a point.
Oh my god, not you two.
You're hyping this up to be the best night ever. Do you want to remember it as the time we held back for no reason?
Well, if you drink too much, you won't remember it to begin with.
It's not holding back, it's saving money. And I never said it'd be the best night ever. I only promised fun. If you fall victim to your own expectations, that's all on you.
You said we might be on the news.
Ooh, the news.
You said we have access to an open bar.
Exactly. Tons of fun.
Buzzkill.
Hold on, I wasn't finished yet. As much as I want to save money, you do have a point. We're lucky. We know in advance that this night will be memorable. That's a luxury we shouldn't waste. So, let's do our best to make it even more memorable.
Now you're talking, and I like what I hear.
Where'd this man of wisdom come from, and what did he do with Isaac?
I'm growing.
Truly heartwarming.
Let's see. I'm gonna do one more of those chats.
Experience supplemental fragment. The Quantum Leap.
Quantum leap, you say?
Hey, anyone up?
I am now.
What's up?
I know we're all focused on the nightclub thing lately, but did any of you start to think about New Year's Eve?
One thing at a time, man.
No, I have a good idea, so hear me out. We're gonna do the Quantum Leap.
The what? What?
The time warp?
Now you're just putting random words together.
It's a thing, I swear.
Never heard of it.
All right. Listen up. You gather friends in a voice call, all from different time zones.
Okay.
You take a shot at midnight. Take another shot at midnight. Then another. See where I'm going with this?
Whoa. Multiple midnights. The best part of New Year's Eve over and over.
Glad we're on the same page.
You're using time zones to promote alcohol abuse? Wonderful.
It's not abuse. And don't lie to us, Isaac. We all know you'd be drinking that much anyway.
You'll need a bit more than that to sell me on the idea.
Well, think about it this way. If you have multiple crushes, then that's multiple midnight kisses.
How does that make sense if you're in a group call and you're not all together?
Sold.
Wait, what? Who are you planning to kiss at midnight, let alone fourth midnight?
Fourth midnight.
It's a surprise. Don't even worry about it.
Just so you know, if you come near me, I will destroy you.
This is gonna be such a disaster.
That was cute. Okay, let's do another main mission. How about this one?
Experience Pivotal Fragment. Meeting Taylor.
Sure, let's meet Taylor. I mean, not that we haven't already met him, but sure. Someone out there wants to be you, just as much as you want to be others. Well, that's a little bit creepy. I sit at the table with Isaac and Dante, slowly chipping away at my dinner. Eating as a group isn't something we do every day, but today was special. I'd finally get to meet Taylor. He's pretty busy, so I've only ever seen him in the group chat. I know he's a streamer and an internet personality, but I don't know much else. It's cool that someone popular like him was taking time to hang out with me, though. I've heard a lot about the guy, so I signed up for this group outing with no hesitation. I'm told this is the spot for our group. Whenever they want to hang out, it's usually here. Apparently they have the best hangover breakfast, too.
Damn, Delta! You're inhaling that!
Yeah, it's delicious.
Can't tell us we're exaggerating anymore then. This is the best place in town. Full stop.
Yeah, definitely excited to come here Saturday morning. It's part of your master plan, isn't it?
Hey, nice try, Dante. No more info till Taylor gets here. And even then, we should let him and Delta get to know each other.
Don't you think the nightclub would be better for that? You know how Taylor gets after a couple drinks.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Total lightweight, that one.
Before anyone else can talk, Taylor steps in.
Hey, is that a compliment or an insult?
Yes.
With a scoff, he sits down beside me and holds out a fist. I bump mine against his, and then he lets out an exaggerated yawn. Resting one arm on the back of the booth, it felt like he was about to pull me in.
Ah, nice to meet you, Delta. Even prettier in person.
Really glad to finally meet you, Taylor.
Long overdue, I'd say. I've been pretty busy, but I'm making sure this weekend is clear. Let's share a drink at the club, all right? I feel like we'll hit it off.
Still your goal to flirt with all my friends, I see.
I'm getting pretty good at it, too.
He moves his arm from where it was, and then points at the table. A pair of headphones rests in front of Dante. They get Taylor's attention.
Those the headphones my chat bought you?
Oh yeah.
And he kept his end of the bargain, Isaac? No more loud music keeping you up at night?
Surprisingly, he did.
Good job.
Perfect. No more fighting now, you hear me? Someone's gotta keep you kids in line. Anyway, let's get down to business. This whole nightclub thing, I looked at their website and not a single special event is listed.
Yeah, this is private. Just for us.
That's a little suspicious.
That means the whole news thing probably won't happen. But the other plans haven't changed. We still have an open bar.
Perfect. That's all I cared about anyway.
Wait, what happened? That's a pretty big change to gloss over, man. Why was the media even a possibility in the first place?
Oh, right. My bad. They never announced the event, so nobody knows they canceled it. The plans that I have are still in full effect, though. Don't worry.
And those are...
I'm introducing all of you to a new friend. He's in town, and he said drinks are on him.
Ah, yes. Mystery Man. This couldn't possibly go poorly.
That's all you get, though. The rest is a surprise. For real.
There's more? That seems like all of it to me. A friend is visiting and buying us drinks. You timed it with Delta's arrival, too.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Oh, man. Oh, he seems super shifty. Isaac lets out a nervous laugh and rubs the back of his head. I can tell that he's acting. There's a bit more to his plans, for sure.
Oh, I've got it. I know who we're meeting.
Huh?
Isaac went and got himself a sugar daddy. I guess Argus isn't paying good enough anymore.
What? No! Well, that makes perfect sense, actually. Unless you'd like to prove us wrong.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Nice try. It's not going to work.
Dang.
Just wait until Friday. It's not even that far away. Speaking of which, you're all still down to pregame?
Sounds good to me. I'm making a big list of snacks, too.
Great. I'll pick up some of the booze and juice. Let's get started around 4 p.m. Sound good?
Day drinking?
Day drinking.
A moment later, the server comes and hands us our bills. I notice that mine has the discount Isaac assigned to my identity. This is probably a good time to ask him more about it. It still feels wrong.
Oh, he did that to you as well?
He fooled me too, I gotta admit.
All of that stuff is just taken out of his paycheck. And if it's not, he's just abusing his friends and family discount.
Oh.
He's definitely not as dark and brooding as you think.
Thanks for ruining it, dude. I just wanted to be nice and impress Delta. Besides, it's a valid cover-up. Nobody really wants to accept pity money.
The fact that I am jobless is now more apparent than ever. I appreciate Isaac's gesture, but I did save up a lot before moving. It'll help me out, but it wasn't necessary. I thank him just to clear the air.
No problem. Glad to know you appreciate it. I always want to help, no matter how it comes across. It just felt better to remove any chance of offending you.
He glances at Taylor as he says that. I am assuming he didn't react well to Isaac's pity money. But I can actually understand how that would wound somebody's pride.
Well, I've come to love it, trust me. But right now, there's an even bigger dilemma at hand.
He opens the menu and looks it up and down.
Just what do I order?
Oh hey, Zephyr! Thank you for stopping by the stream. Zephyr says this game is so good, I backed the Kickstarter. I hope you're enjoying it too. I am! I'm having a really great time. And this demo is free to download right now, but if you would like to help support the game, and back the Kickstarter, get some rewards, you can even, get a pre-order copy of the game when it comes out. There is a link to the Kickstarter in the description of this video for you to learn more about how to do that.
Experience supplemental fragment. Meeting a zero?
Ooh, this sounds intriguing. I would love to meet a zero.
I ran into a zero on the street a couple hours ago.
Wait. You go outside?
Ahaha.
Funny. I had some errands to run, but he seemed hungry. Asked to eat some of the food I bought.
Oh, that happened to me in Delta the other day.
Yeah, I was there too. Felt kinda bad for the guy. I didn't know it was really true, how they can't enter our stores.
That's absolute bullshit.
Yeah, they aren't chipped like we are. No ID to speak of. I really hope that you gave him some food, Dante.
Yeah, of course. I bought a ton since we're pre-gaming today.
You know, I kind of feel bad. Partying while they're rallying for some basic necessities?
Should have invited him over. Showed him what life in the city is like.
Sheltering a zero and giving them access to city goods? Oh, I can literally hear your score going down, man.
You know me. I just like bringing people together. Besides, it'd be a petty crime. Nobody cares about
Oh
those.
my god. Isaac started out as a very straight-laced and by-the-books character, and now he's just kind of dipping his toe into more and more serious criminal activity.
I'm not even gonna touch that one.
Sounds like a scandal to me.
Fine. I just wanted to do a good deed.
How about you start putting out the snacks and booze then? This party starts in a few hours if you want to stick to your schedule.
Sure. Want to help when you get home?
Not really, but I will. It's the least I can do, since you organized the whole thing.
Dante being generous? Wow, this really is a special day. I'll stop by early so I can help you set up. Just let me finish a few more episodes of this show.
Sounds good to me. And Delta, just sit back and relax. This night is celebrating your arrival. So, let's make it special.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd have to at least offer to help a little bit.
Yeah, one we can all remember.
Unless you go overboard again.
Hey,
The incident.
bring that up one more time and you're going overboard.
Ooh, drama!
At least now I have some entertainment while I prepare. Hold on, let me go make some popcorn.
Popcorn sounds good.
My suffering isn't entertainment.
It really is.
Hey, can I get extra butter on that? I've decided that calories don't exist this weekend.
Sure thing. Just make sure to keep an eye on Dante. And don't stop fighting either. I'm loving the energy.
Oh my god. Alright, so we have one more supplemental to do.
Experience supplemental fragment. A weird feeling.
Yes. Please tell me all about your weird feeling and how it makes you feel funny inside.
I'm on my way over. But admittedly, I'm a little bummed out.
What happened? Also, we're almost set up for the party already.
Well, I was really getting into this show. Like, the next episode was supposed to be all-out war. But instead of that, they focused on completely different characters. Just moved to the other side of the world at the worst possible time.
Did it all take place in the same room?
Yeah.
That's a bottle episode, man.
Bottle episode? And you thought Quantum Leap sounded weird.
It's just something they do in the industry. It either kills the momentum or becomes a masterpiece.
Huh. I've heard of a filler episode before, but never a bottle episode.
Plan to elaborate at all?
Well, he mentioned they were going to war, right? They probably need to put a lot of money into that. You know, like CGI, music, all that fun stuff.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
It lets them put more of the budget into the important episodes. They typically reuse sets and focus on main characters with no secondaries.
So what you're saying is that the next episode will be incredible.
Well, they could be, but I don't know. I actually prefer the bottle episodes myself. A smaller, more intimate character study? Right up my alley. But I've never been one for fight scenes and explosions.
Hold on. You've changed the way I think about TV shows. I just figured every episode had the same budget.
Oh no, definitely not. And you can tell if you are a big fan of a series and you've been watching it for a while, you can definitely tell which episodes got the bigger chunks of the budget and which fell by the wayside in that regard.
Not even close.
So that one episode with the fly in the lab?
Bottle.
What about the one where no one's ready?
Big bottle and an instant classic. Sometimes they take the easy way out and just do a clip show episode.
Oh, yeah.
You know, highlighting all the best times those characters have had.
Oh, I always thought those were just pure fan service.
Animes definitely do that quite a bit.
Yeah, I'd take a bottle episode over a clip show any day of the week.
Hey, guys,
Yeah, what's up?
do you think we're in one of those right now?
What are you talking about?
Uh-oh, characters are becoming self-aware.
I mean, actually, I don't know. I just got the weirdest feeling.
Care to elaborate at all?
It's already gone. Just lasted a few seconds. Honestly, I wouldn't even worry about it.
Oh, I am absolutely going to worry about it.
He's probably just been reading too many books.
That is definitely not the case.
Are you saying I don't read?
I'm only saying it because you don't.
Oh my god.
Hey, what's the last novel you read, Isaac?
I hate all of you.
I mean, I'm a pretty big reader, but I don't even think I could name the last novel I sat down and read. I just barely have time for it anymore. I'm so busy with spinning all of my other plates and keeping the other aspects of my life afloat. Okay, so we finished all the supplemental fragments, and there is just one main chunky chunk to do.
Experience pivotal fragment. Locked out?
Heck yeah, let's do it. Oh my god, I completely forgot to be checking my journal this whole time. I will definitely look at the journal after this. The safety of the past is the greatest treasure that we can never possess. We leave the grocery store, our hands full of bags. It was mostly booze and assorted junk food. You know, the usual. It took a couple of hours, but Isaac and Taylor were there to make it easier.
That's everything, yeah?
I think so. Dante made the list, though. I'll just blame him if we forget anything.
Classy.
Isaac walks over to the driver's side door and tries to open it. A moment later, he looks up, giving us an embarrassed smile.
Oh, speaking of classy, please don't hate me for this.
Did you forget your keys?
Isaac, you didn't.
I did.
Taylor groans and places his bags on the ground. I'm a little confused, but I quickly realize what's going on. Isaac locked his keys in the car. I guess we're stuck. Surprised he can't swipe his phone to get into the car with all the Argus technology shit they have embedded in their society.
And you insisted on using this dated piece of junk. If you had more refined taste, you could just whip out your phone.
Right, of course. I forgot. Isaac prefers to use as little technological integration as possible.
I do have refined taste, and it's not dated, it's vintage.
Vintage.
It's sketchy, is what it is.
You say that, but you'll thank me for having it one day.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm so grateful that you stranded us in the middle of the city.
Oh, it's fine. Just find a coat hanger and jimmy the lock open.
That day is not today.
Taylor sighs, his annoyance almost exaggerated.
Well, looks like we're walking. This is Isaac's mess. Let him stay and fix it.
Nah, I'm actually gonna walk with you. I'll have to grab some tools from my workshop. Thankfully, this isn't the first time I've locked myself out.
Thankfully?
Yeah, always makes a good story to tell.
I'll bet.
Why not just get a new car? You know, one that follows regulations.
Because I'm just made of money.
That's a big factor, too. He scoffs and walks back toward us. Taylor picks up his bags, and we start walking in the right direction. With all this added weight, it'd take a couple hours to get back home.
I guess I'm coming over to your place now. Good thing I didn't have a stream plan today.
Or tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm taking the weekend off for you. I don't get to do that very often. It's costly. But in my heart, I know that this open bar is compensation enough.
You get drunk after one cocktail.
Oh, I plan on going farther than that. You wanted to make the night memorable, right? I think the marker of a memorable night is not remembering it at all.
Oh, so you're an alcoholic.
Exactly my sentiment, Isaac.
Says the guy who drinks beer at lunchtime.
Day drinking is better.
Oh my god. Okay, you know, none of you are free of sin. Shame upon each of you.
Oh, I can't wait to hear the explanation on that one.
Before they can continue talking, we almost bump into somebody. Quickly dodging to the side, we turn back and apologize.
Oh, sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. Say, that's a lot of food.
I suppose it is.
Well, are you gonna eat it all?
That's what you do with food, yeah?
Oh.
His shoulders slump down, and he looks defeated. We exchange glances as concern rises within us.
Hey, everything all right?
Yeah, just really hungry.
Can't you go buy some food for yourself?
He slaps his hands on his pants pockets as if looking for something. A clearly comedic gesture, as we can now tell he's carrying nothing with him.
I guess I forgot my wallet at home.
Your phone, too?
My what?
We exchange glances once again as we start to understand.
Oh, you're a zero.
That's what they've been calling me, yeah. My friends are here to protest. I just wanted to see the city. Didn't pack enough, though, and now this walking has me starved.
We huddle together and start whispering amongst ourselves.
What we do? Beats me. I've never met a zero before. Hey, aren't we gonna lose points if we keep talking to him?
That's terrible. He's a person too, you know.
Dude, he's a person, not a liability.
Never thought they'd say this, but thank you, Taylor.
Of course, of course.
I can hear you.
Isaac and Taylor look scared stiff. To break the awkward silence, I grab an apple from Taylor's bag. Holding it out toward the zero, I make it clear that it now belongs to him.
No joke?
I shake my head and apologize on behalf of Isaac and Taylor.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm just not used to seeing, zeros in the city.
Or, well, anywhere, for that matter. You and your friends are making history.
Yeah, if you say so.
He steps forward and grabs the apple out of my hand.
What do they call you?
I tell him my name is Delta and introduce him to Isaac and Taylor.
Delta, huh? So I guess you're the cool one.
With a smile, he takes a bite of the apple and walks away. We wait until he's out of earshot before talking about what happened. You know, that's awful because they're walking out of a supermarket with bags clear.
If you could get me a drink of water.
Oh, and what a very timely redeem for you to do there, Nico. Thank you for redeeming that drink. And, they've clearly got a bunch of food with them and all they could offer to give him was an apple. I mean, come on, at least toss him a bag of chips or something. They're doing pre-gaming, so they know they've got, a ton of snacks and stuff like that. I mean, they can afford it. He's the one who can barely get anything to feed himself with. That was actually the first drink that was redeemed during the stream today, so I am parched. Thank you very much. I've got my water again today, as per my usual when I am fursuiting and streaming. Though I did get a coffee donation earlier, which means I will be treating myself to a cup of tea a little bit later. What is everybody at home drinking today? What is your hydration choice? While y'all are sitting back and experiencing a little bit of Komorebi. And it looks like we have a we have a posture check redeem, which means I gotta do me some stretches. Oh, my shoulders are killing me. Oh. Nico is drinking milk. That's very interesting. I don't really drink milk on its own. I only have it as an ingredient. Or in cereal, stuff like that. Xenomnia is currently preparing some Pocari Sweat. Ooh, that's interesting. How exactly does one prepare Pocari Sweat? I don't know very much about that drink, but I thought it was a soda. Oh, there goes my spot. Oh, that feels good. Okay. Whew. Oh my god. There we go. Okay. I am refreshed and ready going. Oh, Zanamni says, yeah, it's a soda, but I did buy it in powder form. Never ever add the powder to a carbonated drink, though. I did not know you could get powdered soda. That is fascinating. It has the same effect as Mentos with Coke to a lesser degree if you do. Oh my goodness. That's probably super exciting. Be careful that you don't do it next to anything that you do not want to get ruined by beverage explosion.
I'm totally cool. What was he talking about?
Yeah, the definition of cool. Walking around in a jacket that's 3 sizes too big.
I'm growing into it.
More like filling it out with all that junk food you've been eating. Anyway, let's keep going. Hopefully that was our only distraction.
Oh yeah, not talking from experience. No, of course not, of course not.
Wait, I'm actually kind of concerned.
Trust me, Isaac, it's nothing to worry about. Totally normal to be concerned with your weight.
No, you idiot, it's the Zero. He said he wanted to see the city.
I have ears.
Yeah, they're huge. Look at them.
Yeah, but that means he's never seen it before. He's one of the Zeros that was born on a colony.
And?
He never got a chance to say no to the system. He must have had ideals forced onto him by Mom and Dad.
Oh, I see what you mean. At least we get to choose.
Shouldn't he, too? You know what? Never mind. This is getting too deep for me.
Yeah, sounds about right. You're more...
Guess I have my work cut out for me then.
He laughs and shakes his bag slightly. Bottles of alcohol shake around, knocking into one another. As we make our way home, I can't help but feel sorry for that Zero, too. Everybody should get a chance to start fresh, just like I did. That is an interesting moral dilemma. Whether that wolf, or I'm assuming was a wolf, that canid, who was the Zero, really wanted to live in that lifestyle. Whether he might have wanted to be part of society with all of its technology and things like that. I wonder if he's experienced Komorebi, or if he's been without a vision, just like Delta, our main character. Okay, so we have done all of the main fragments here, and all we've got left is a heart-to-heart with Dante.
Experience heart-to-heart fragment. Dante.
Yeah, this visual novel is definitely more involved than I thought it would be going into it. I'm enjoying myself so far. I enter Dante's room, bringing him back his lost wallet. He was too busy to pick it up at the coffee shop, and I was out running errands. Isaac did warn me about him, though, always having his head in the clouds.
Hey, Delta. Thanks for following through. There's no way I had time to do that myself. According to my agent, I have 12 months left to finish this book. But I signed the contract, so this is my own doing. One crunch session after another. You get used to it, though. Thankfully, the press is really interested in my next project.
I knew he was a writer, but I didn't know he was this successful. Until this point, he's never mentioned much about his career. It's probably now that we're alone. Everyone else in his life probably knows already.
Well, now that you're here, maybe you want to hang out for a bit? I could use a little break from that empty page. It's taunting me. Usually does, but today it's pretty bad. Probably the stress of working under a deadline. You know, a year is a long time, but it doesn't feel like it. If I aim for 1,000 words a day, I should be all right.
Well, that would be gigantic. 365,000 words?
But right now, I stand at 0. I have the story mapped out, but that opening scene is the worst. Gotta grab the reader, but also keep the momentum going.
Nico, I know that you've been working on writing a novel or some books lately, so I'm sure you can relate to what Dante is talking about here, the struggles of being an author. Oh, and it looks like we have a cheetah fact to take a look at here. We have cheetah fact number 19. Up to 8 cheetah cubs may be born in a litter, though 3 or 4 is most common. That seems to be standard with mammals. Typically, they don't have more offspring than the mother has nipples for, because otherwise the babies would starve. But 3 or 4 is the most common number of cheetah cubs to be born in a litter. A moment later, he gets out of his chair and moves to his bed. Sitting at the edge, he points to the now empty chair.
Go ahead, take a seat. Don't usually let people in my bed right after meeting them.
Yeah, definitely not.
But I like your vibes, Delta. Tell me something about yourself, if you're down, that is.
He lays back and looks up at the ceiling. That's such a vague question, I don't know where to start. I tell him that I wanted a new start. Things were getting stale.
Huh, interesting. Things were getting stale here, too. Guess this arrangement benefits all of us, then. And it was nice of your boyfriend to rent you a room.
He is clearly teasing me with that implication. I don't bite.
You know, he doesn't let just anybody move in here. There's a reason it's been the two of us for years. I guess I'm just saying you mean something to him. Keep that in mind, all right? A friendly piece of advice.
Nico is asking, have people ever mistaken me for a different cat species at cons or in public? Oh my god, it doesn't even have to be a cat species. It is staggeringly frightening how little people actually know about animals. Why, just a couple weeks ago, I mentioned this at the beginning of the stream, but I don't think you were there. I was talking about how I fursuited at a costume party for Halloween, out at a local goth club, that is to say, not around other furries, and I got called lion, tiger, Khajiit, and Mortal Kombat Squirrel Girl. So, oh man, and I've had people call me all kinds of things. I've had people call me leopard, I've had people call me serval. I mean, you'd at least think that it would be obvious that this was some kind of feline, but people are just completely out there sometimes, completely unknowledgeable when it comes to animals. It's quite scary, to be honest. You even sometimes see that with other furries, which does take me aback. You'd think that at least being in this community, which revolves around the appreciation of animal characters, you'd at least be a bit smarter than the average bear, so to speak, when it comes to identifying animal species. Didn't notice the spots on my paws, or my face, or people are just... they don't care enough about animals, which is part of why I try to raise awareness, and not even just about cheetahs, but simply in general of folks just becoming more knowledgeable about the species that they base their own characters off of. I'm always trying to promote that whenever I talk to other furries. You know, many furries have a fursona that is a made-up species or a fantasy species, but for those whose fursona species is based in reality, or is a real-life animal that lives on the planet Earth, you can learn as much as you want to about them. Pretty much every animal species has its own internationally celebrated day of the year. You know, take some time to learn when that is, and on that day, you know, just go to your local library, read a book, look up your animal species on Wikipedia, just learn a little bit more, expand your horizons, broaden your own knowledge. It never hurts to be smarter. At least that's what I always say.
When you write romance, you start to pick up on these things. I guess it's not really any of my business, though, just advice, like I said.
Oh, so he writes romance novels, does he?
but none of us would be surprised if you two ended up together.
I nod and thank him for the advice.
Just don't mess with those mods he makes. I got off super easy when you arrived, trust me. It's so bad, I just tell myself to take his insults as compliments. The people we hate are usually the ones we love the most. He wouldn't crack down on us if he didn't want us to grow.
He sure likes talking about Isaac, huh? I try to change the subject and shift it more toward Dante. Curiosity takes over my mind, so I ask him about his next book.
I wish I could talk about it, but I can't. I'm under a strict NDA and a bunch of pesky red tape. In fact, I think I've already said way more than I should.
You've barely told me anything about it at all. I'm sure you're fine. Fair. I ask him to tell me more about himself then.
I don't know about that one, Delta. I'm a writer, so I know a lame story when I see one. Basically, grew up in a library. All I did was read books day after day. Picked up the skills to write my own, and here we are. A few book deals later, and I live under crushing stress. Almost makes me wish that my initial success was a fluke. We all have foresight, except for where we need it the most. I think that's all you'll get out of me right now, though. Maybe we should grab a drink sometime, chat a bit more? I mean, if you're down for that. I'd suggest the club, but that night is going to be a drunken blur. If we're talking about next week, however, my schedule is wide open.
Sounds great. I'd enjoy getting to know you more.
Such flattery! But I'm really not that interesting. Any illusion of me being cool will disappear real quick. But as your roommate, I'm obligated to bond with you, or whatever.
It's the second time you've said that already.
You may be close to Isaac, but you're a stranger to me. And if there's one thing I hate, it's strangers in my home. Lucky for you, though, I'm down to turn you into something more.
He sits upright and tilts his head to the side. I can tell that it's a sign. He wants me out of his chair. However, before I make it out of the room, he calls my name.
Hey, Delta. I gotta say, you remind me of somebody. This character from my first book. They're an outsider, like you.
I tilt my head, confused as to why he'd bring this up.
Well, let's just say I have a deep connection with them. When you told me about your past, they immediately popped into my head. It probably sounds weird to hear, but that made it easier for me to talk.
It makes sense to me, even though I can't describe why.
This character traveled to a new city. They ended up falling in love with somebody they shouldn't. You know, like those old tragedies, but with modern flair.
That sounds pretty cool, actually. If this character is like me, I wonder what happens to them. I ask Dante to tell me some more, intrigued at relating to his fiction.
Oh, they die.
Oh.
Hopefully things work out better for you, though, yeah?
Yeah, hopefully. Oh. With a laugh, he turns his chair around and starts typing away. I guess that was my cue to leave. For real this time. What an odd note to end on. Instead of focusing on what he said, I focus on what he didn't say. Our talk inspired him, even if he didn't want to admit it. As I see myself out, that empty page is now almost anything but. Hopefully, this new story has a bit of a happier ending. And Nico says, I think people say mistakenly that you're a lion because of your mane. I mean, it's possible. I think people are just stupid. Has a lot to do with it. Now, I realize that I have not been checking the journal.
View which journal entry?
Let's view entry number 1. I thought it might alert me that I had journal entries, but I guess not. Alright, Sunday, December 15th, 2041. I finally moved in with Isaac. Wow, that feels weird to say. I've been dreaming of a new start for such a long time. Now that it's here, it feels kind of surreal, like a dream. Dreams are good though, especially when the alternative is a nightmare. But I don't think I'll have to worry about that. I may worry about Dante though. He seems to disregard a lot of Isaac's wishes, and their personalities clash all the time. But they seem to use that as a springboard to become closer, instead of as an excuse to drift apart. I feel like we could all learn a thing or two from that. Isaac added me to the group chat, and I got to talk to Taylor for the first time. We're going to try organizing an outing in a few days so I can meet him for real. He's a pretty popular streamer, actually. I could even tell from the energy he exuded over text that there was something special about him. I wouldn't throw the term born entertainer around easily, but he's definitely a born entertainer. I could tell he's a bit cautious about his public image, though. He kept telling Isaac and Dante not to fight since he didn't want any scandals on his shoulders. That's a ticking time bomb, though. I've only been here for one day, and I can already tell that getting Dante and Isaac to stop teasing each other is a fool's errand. When I write about these people, it makes me feel happy. I definitely made the right choice. Delta. Nico, I would advise maybe holding on before you go get something to eat, because I'm pretty sure we're actually wrapping up to the end of the demo. So if you leave now, you probably will not come back to me still streaming. So if you could hang on for the time being, that would probably be your best bet. There's a little note on the side here. It says, I'm gonna write on the side like a true rebel. Okay.
View which journal entry.
Let's look at journal entry number 2. Monday, December 16th, 2041. Isaac left his lunch at home today, so I had to bring it to him at work. His store is definitely pretty chill, and he even told me that his manager is always hiring. So if it ever came to it, I could work with him. Only if I need to, though. A last resort. Working with friends can easily destroy productivity. There's also the fact that we'd be competing for sales. That's never a good thing to do with people who are close to you. Not that there'd even be a competition. I mean, I'd clearly win. I do feel kind of bad for Isaac, though. He mentioned that he lost commission on a lot of sales. I guess people who were up to no good decided to con him into selling them some stuff. He told me that he can lose points since he's basically enabling their crimes. Since when is ignorance a form of complicity? Isaac is 100% innocent, and I'll always have his back. I wonder what crimes they were committing, and why they need to buy so much stuff, though. Maybe I'll ask Isaac sometime. If they dock points from his score, they better give him every last detail, or at least let him contest it. But I guess if Argus didn't want to tell him, they could hide behind the new glitch in the system excuse. A blanket statement that seems to absolve Argus of any wrongdoing lately. It's pretty weak. Anyway, my mind is just running wild. I wasn't even planning to write in this journal today, but it's currently late at night, and Dante is blasting music while he works. I'm pretty sure that I can hear Isaac fuming all the way from my room. Delta. And in the margin it says, we're all just numbers in a computer. Okay, next journal entry.
View which journal entry.
Number 3. Tuesday, December 17th, 2041. I met Taylor today. It was definitely an experience. He even tried flirting with me like 5 seconds after meeting me. But I guess that's just how he is. Can't hate on a guy for being himself. Harmless fun. It was also my first time going to the Triple R. That's the coffee shop our gang frequents. It also doubles as a nice place to get a meal. Their hangover breakfast has been immensely recommended anytime the name of the shop is brought up. The Triple R. Rest, relaxation, and whatever the third one is. I guess it's one of those mysteries we'll never solve. Or I guess I could ask the employees, but that requires socializing. Anyway, I didn't even get to learn much about Taylor. The topic of the day was our upcoming nightclub trip. Isaac seems to have planned a party surrounding my arrival, and not only that, but there's another new friend of his coming to town. I guess I wasn't the only one. Not that it matters. I can't expect everyone's lives to revolve around my arrival. But it wouldn't hurt if it did, at least for the first little bit. Everyone likes feeling like a star once in a while. Dante left his wallet. I think I'll bring it back to him. He did mention wanting to bond when I got the chance, and his room is pretty close to mine. I wonder if he even realized his mistake. I'll figure that out right now.
View which journal entry.
Journal entry number 4. Wednesday, December 18th, 2041. Oh, Nico says you look amazing, by the way. Thank you very much. Okay, so I've been forgetting a few things. That discount Isaac applied to my identity wasn't really what I thought it was. He just shared his friends and family discount with me since he works for Argus. I feel a lot better about that now. I kind of thought we were cheating the system. I don't want to get in trouble so soon after moving. I really like it here. I also started to bond with Dante. He always seemed a bit distant, but I kind of felt a real connection the moment we were alone. You know, without the constant quips like he likes to throw around. They were still there, don't get me wrong, but they didn't take the forefront like they normally do. I got to learn more about him and his work, and it was great. I'm sure Isaac will be happy that we're getting along, too. Excuse me. Me, Isaac, and Taylor also ran into a Zero on the street today. I knew that they were here to protest, illegally yet also peacefully, but I didn't pay them any mind. That all changed today. These people are no longer a concept in my head. I've met them for real, and a lot of the advice people have been giving me just feels wrong now. Ignore them, don't get involved. But they're people, and they're suffering. How can we ignore that? Maybe that's why Argus never wanted them in the city, so we always saw them as an invisible threat. I guess it's a lot easier to fight the idea of a person than it is the actual person. I hope they get what they want. And in the margin it says, ran out of space on the bottom, so I'm signing here and no one can stop me. Delta. Yeah. I appreciate the compliment, Nico. This is one of my favorite My Chemical Romance hoodies. This is from their Black Parade era, so it is over 15 years old at this point, and it still looks great on me. I wear it all the time. One of the good things about fall is that it is hoodie weather, so I get to break out all of my favorite classic hoodies. Looks like my voice is getting a little bit run ragged, so hopefully we're almost done here. And we've only
View
got
which journal entry?
one more journal entry to look at. Thursday, December 19th, 2041. Well, tomorrow is the big day. We've got all the stuff we need to pregame, and everything is set in stone. I've been told to take it easy and relax. I wanted to help with the preparation, but this party is for me, as they say, so I should just sit back. I guess I should accept the courtesy while I can. A lot of the offers I've been given lately were just because I'm new here. I know that once I settle in, I'll be expected to pull my weight a little bit more, or maybe a lot more, who knows. But I have a feeling that this expectation will become a reality once the dust from our nightclub outing settles. So I guess I'll enjoy this last little bit of laziness while I still can. The visits with my counselor are going well too. Honestly, everything's going well for me lately. It's so much better than where I came from. I finally feel like I can breathe and live for myself. I think I'm through living for other people. I was so used to helping others that I forgot what it felt like to help myself. A little self-care can go an extremely long way. My counselor did mention the zeros, though. I kind of have a personal policy where I refuse to lie to my counselor, but I don't know what to do. He technically works for Argus, so I'm not sure how he'd react if he knew that I not only socialized with the Zero, but gave them some of my food as well. I mean, it seems inherently harmless, but I'm pretty sure that's still against the law. I know counselors say that you can trust them and tell them anything, and it's just between you and them, but is that true? Anyway, Isaac wanted to talk to me about something today since our last free day before we get too drunk to function. In the margin it says engaging side content. Alright, and... okay, yeah, it looks like this is the last bit right here. Hey, Clace here. Just wanted to thank you for playing through this demo. It's been almost 2 years of hard work, and everyone involved has been super passionate, putting their all into everything. I think it really shines through, and I hope you enjoyed your time in the world of Komorebi. I bet you're excited to get to the nightclub with your new friends, but that has to wait just a little bit longer. Though the good news is there's going to be a second part to this demo equally as long as this one. Both of these demos combined will provide the entire first chapter of Komorebi for free. The game will be 4 chapters in total, so it's quite a lot of content to tide you over until we finally launch. I'll provide release details on Part 2 soon. In the meantime, please use hashtag #KomorebiGame to post about your experience. We'd all love to hear your thoughts and get the community going while we finalize Part 2 for release. There are actually a couple reasons why I chose to release this demo in 2 parts. I knew that after releasing it, there would be tons of people learning about this game for the first time. Giving the entire world some time to play through it and get on the same page means that the turnout to the nightclub outing will be as big as possible. I also kind of like the idea of marking our calendars for the date and time that Part 2 will come out. That way we can all experience the same night on the same night. We've all been going through a tough time over the last little while. Let's have an awesome night out together soon. Don't forget to tell your friends about Komorebi. Please consider pledging to the Kickstarter, because if you already did, then oh my god, thanks! Okay, so it looks like that is the first part of the Komorebi demo. And Van is here now. Hello, Van. Van says, me and my friends are also trying to get a visual novel game going, so this is hella interesting to me. Oh, that's fantastic. I wish you all the best of luck with your visual novel. And I'd love to hear more about it later. Looks like I am actually at the end of this preview demo of Komorebi. This was sent to me by Clace, the developer, a couple days ago to stream online. Though now the demo is available for everybody to try out. So if you are interested in playing Komorebi, I do have a link to the Kickstarter in the description of this video where you can download it and you can try it out for yourself. But yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I've been streaming for the past almost 3 hours at this point, so I did finish the entire demo. You just managed to make it here at the end. But not to worry, because as you know, all of my streams are always recorded, so as soon as I go offline, that'll be available on my channel, so you can go ahead and watch. Yeah, unfortunately, I only had the opportunity to stream as early as I did because it is a holiday in the United States, so I didn't have work, but I was also hoping that streaming on a different day and at a different time than usual would get some new folks in here who would not normally be able to make it to my streams. Which did happen. I did see some new faces in here and some faces that I don't normally see in my streams, so that is super, super good. One more thing I also wanted to mention before I go. I recently had the opportunity to be interviewed by Benji the Beagle for the Season 4 premiere of their YouTube series. That was a very fun opportunity. If you check my channel, I do have a link to the episode of Benji's interview with me. I recommend watching that. All of my interview responses did not make it into the episode, so I do have a companion video on my channel that showed the full answers to the questions that I was asked by Benji. So if you're interested in watching that and learning a little bit more about me, I highly recommend you do so. That's going to be the most recent video on my YouTube channel right after this one. So yeah, I had a great time playing the demo of Komorebi. This is actually the first furry visual novel that I've played. Though I have played visual novels in the past, I have not yet played a furry one, nor have I played a game by Clace. I'm enjoying it very much so far. The premise and the story and the whole, like, Komorebi visions of the future thing, that's very interesting to me. I am eager to see where the narrative goes in subsequent entries. One thing that I did take note of course, coming from the background that I do, this would be something that is important to me, but I couldn't help but notice that there were no female identified characters in the game, which unfortunately is more prevalent than it should be within the furry community. Women are often a bit of an afterthought. So I do hope that in the future installments or in the rest of the game of Komorebi, we do actually see some representation of women amongst the characters there. Because that's something that's very important to me, especially due to the fact that you can't customize the main character. It just, you know, everyone was referring to the character as they, them, so it's not really a character in and of itself, but just kind of like the blank player insert thing, kind of like what Undertale does. So that is a little minus in my book. For now at least. Hopefully, if I get a chance to play the full game, I will be able to see whether or not there are actually any women in the game. Because, I mean, come on. It's 2021. You're really gonna put out a game and have no women in it? I mean, come on. But other than that, yeah. I am about ready. I don't think there was anything else that I forgot to mention, so I'm gonna go ahead and sign off here. As always, thank everybody so much for watching, and thank you again, Zanomnia, for the donation earlier. That is super appreciated. You are the bomb, and I love you. And so I'm gonna get going, and I'm gonna cool off, because I'm a little warm right now. But yeah, and again, if you want to learn more about Komorebi, there's a link in the description of the video. If any new folks are watching, you're more than welcome to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to know the next time that I'm streaming, I usually make an announcement about that the day before on Twitter, like I did this time around. My typical stream times are weekends, but hey, you never know, right? And I believe you can also get notifications on YouTube to be emailed the next time that I go live. So I am going to leave it off there. Thank you again to everyone so much. I hope you have a great rest of your evening. And, oh, yep, it looks like Nico has redeemed some chirps. So you gotta get your goodbye chirps here. Alright, here we go. There you go, there are your cheetah chirps. And David, you joined the stream just at the end. I am about to sign off, but I hope you can catch my stream next time. I appreciate the gesture anyway. Take care, everyone, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.